Do you blame KD for wanting out of Brooklyn?
Blame is a very slippery word, and I'll use that because I thought the best description about this whole thing, Bruce Beck is a friend of mine. He works with WNBC4 in New York, one of the dean of sportscasters in New York City, and he said this is a colossal failure. And I thought that was the perfect description for what has gone on. 3 years to the day, when Kevin Durant left the Golden State Warriors, 3 years to the day later, he decides that he wants out, that he is done. So I'm not going to put all the blame on him for wanting out of Brooklyn, but I will say this. Kevin Durant, this is what you get for aligning your force with Kyrie Irving. And people can say, oh, Freddie, you're a Kyrie Irving hater. I don't hate on Kyrie Irving. But what's the old line, KYP, know your personnel? You got to know who you're getting involved with, your Kevin Durant. You decided to leave the Guardians of the Galaxy, known as the Golden State Warriors, a place that you left to go from Oklahoma City to go to Golden State because you wanted to play basketball the right way. And you did that and had a great run with Golden State. And then all of a sudden, you wanted to align yourself with a very mercurial person, not guard, but mercurial person in Kyrie Irving, who's always going to be about Kyrie Irving. What did you think was going to happen when you two guys got together? So we want to put blame on anybody. You can say blaming KD for wanting out of Brooklyn, but he should have known this going in, that the minute that you put yourself next to somebody as talented but is really kind of off kilter when it comes to Kyrie Irving, you can't expect the best things are going to happen, and Bruce Beck was exactly right. That's why this was a colossal failure, because he should have known better leaving Golden State than joining with Kyrie Irving.
I can't blame him for leaving something toxic. He understood where this thing was headed. He saw the writing on the wall. And a lot of people are going to think, oh, it was a snap decision because less than 72 hours after Kyrie Irving opted into his $36.5 million player option, KD says, I'm going to leave. No, the writing was on the wall for a long time. He saw that this was headed down a road that, he lost control of. I don't like that he's leaving knowing that we didn't get to see this thing through to where we thought it was going to go, where this team could win a championship together, where they had a big three that never got to play together in the NBA. That's sad to me because there was all this talent wasted. But as you had mentioned, Freddie, in putting the blame with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant knowing what he got in Kyrie Irving because he knew this person coming into this, I blame the Brooklyn Nets for ceding the power to their superstars. Think about all the things that happened dating back to 2019 when, because of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving's relationship with DeAndre Jordan, this franchise gives DeAndre Jordan that $40 million extension. They fire Kenny Atkinson because he wanted to start Jared Allen over DeAndre Jordan, and that would have caused friction with the relationship between the star players and the organization and their head coach. And then on top of that, there's the vaccine thing with Kyrie Irving and not being able to play in home games because he wouldn't get it. And the Nets were like, well, we don't want a part-time player. Then eventually they allowed him to be a part-time player. So I see a lot of the blame here going onto the Brooklyn Nets from my perspective because they allowed this thing to happen. Like, this should be a very cautionary tale to other sports franchises about not letting your players, no matter how good they are, assume all of that power and start making the decisions and calling the shots.
I was around the Warriors a lot in 2019. I totally understand why Kevin Durant decided he needed to leave. Not to mention the fact that he had torn his Achilles. I've been there when teams reach the end of their line. I've seen LeBron leave the Heat. I was there for that. I was there when he left the Cavs. I understood that decision. The big decisions that Kevin made after that, I didn't understand. I never understood them. I never understood when Kawhi was out there, when LeBron was out there, when the Lakers, Clippers, Knicks were out there, that he not only chose Brooklyn, which actually had a great, they had earned the right to get a free agent, but he chose to pair up with Kyrie. I didn't understand at the time. And I listened over the following years as they explained themselves about how they both sort of felt the same way, but I never understood it. Because when I saw the Kawhi and LeBron options in LA, I don't know why he picked it. I don't know why he signed that extension last year. I was with them when he signed it. We were in Tokyo. They won a huge game. He played a brilliant, brilliant game to win in the semifinals against Australia. I know maybe not everybody paid attention to it, but it was an incredible performance. It saved the U.S. They were down big. He carried them. And after the game, we're like, oh, yeah, by the way, you signed a $200 million extension. Why was that about? I don't understand why he did it. I don't understand when he did that contract that not only did he go for 4 years, he didn't even give himself a player option. He looked at the lay of the land with the Nets and said, thumbs up. Let's stick with it.
Right.
I don't understand that. On the court, I think he's just brilliant. God, I think he's brilliant. And I can't tell you how my admiration grew for him watching him in Tokyo last year, coming off of the Achilles, playing for Team USA when he didn't have to,
Absolutely,
and carrying them to that gold medal.
Yep.
I mean, we saw Steve Nash last year hug Kevin when he helped them win that one game against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Greg Popovich, the man with all those rings and everything, he was hugging Kevin Durant because he got him his gold medal.
Right.
On the court, I can't speak enough about how wonderful Kevin is. I've never understood his off-court decisions since he left there. And that is what set us up for today, because the choices that he made on where to go left him in this situation. So I don't blame him for wanting to get out, because he looked at the lay of the land and said, this actually might be the first good decision in terms of non-basketball, in terms of off-court decision. This may be the first one he's made.
That's fair.
Since he left 3 years ago in Golden State.
And that's completely fair. And here's the deal with that. I've always wondered what Kevin Durant is searching for when it comes to basketball, whatever that is. And you don't have to be the alpha male and be the best player on the team. Those things don't have to be the same. For example, the old San Francisco 49ers teams. Joe Montana was the best player on that team, but he was not the alpha male. When the New York Giants won their Super Bowl, Eli Manning was not the alpha male the first time they won. It was Michael Strahan and everybody else. You don't have to be the alpha male on the basketball team to be the best player. But I've always wondered, Brian, what is he searching for? Because he had in Oklahoma City. The franchise was his. Everybody in that city, everybody in that state loved him. Wasn't good enough for him. Saw the tea leaves, don't want to play this way, up 3-1.
That's why he and Kyrie got together, because they both won championships and neither were happy.
Right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.